I got you as long as you got me.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no.
Alright y'all, so like I said, this is going to be a review for the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 album by Dreamville. This album dropped on July 5th, 2019. It was released by Dreamville and Interscope Records. And this is like the third in the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 series by Dreamville. I've loved this whole series, especially Revenge of the Dreamers 2. But this album is by far the best out of the three. And this is also a very important album for the culture, because I don't think there's been an album in recent memory that was recorded over like the span of like 10 days. It was recorded at the Tree Sound Studios in Atlanta back in January by like pretty much all the Dreamville artists. That was the pocket of time they found to record this album while they were all free and they all had time in the schedule. And on top of that, they also invited like mad other artists from different camps and just different, different labels and all that stuff who wanted to come and just vibe with them. They got like Buddy, Dreezy, Ty Dolla $ign, some other artists as well, T.I. So this album, like I said, is just so important for the culture, because I feel like big compilation, big collab albums, it's not really been, especially like maybe between like 1 or 2 artists has been a thing recently, but like between like dozens of artists hasn't really been a thing in hip-hop for a while, at least in my recent memory. So this album I feel like is not only so important for the culture, but it's also so important because it's probably my favorite rap project of the year so far as a whole. All the energy, all of the talent, the charisma, the way this album was put together is just amazing. Alright, so I'm not gonna do a track by track breakdown of the album because there's so many tracks and I feel like there's just so much going on in each different track. There's just so much going on with all these artists on it, but I just want to talk about my general thoughts about the album. So y'all ready to get into it? Let's do it. Alright, I'm just gonna speed by talking through these tracks. Album started off with the first track, Under the Sun. That was a really cool track with the baby on it. I was surprised they got the baby on this album, but I think he fit right in on Under the Sun. That was definitely a highlight for me. I freaking love Down Bad. That is probably one of my favorite songs of the year so far. I just love the beat. I love the vibe on it. JID's hook. I was just fucked up. I was just down bad. I had to tighten the fuck up. I'm in for the crown. Oh shit. Love that song, y'all. I might put it in my Brass Stomachs Volume 11. I love this song. Definitely I'm glad you put it out as a single because it just fits. It feels good for the summer. It's just a really good track all around. I also love what Boz and Earth Gang and Young Nudie did on it as well. LamboTruck is also singing off this album. That was cool. Swivel by Earth Gang. That was a cool little track. It sounded different. It was produced by Bink, who I love. Oh Wow, Swerve. That was a cool track. Don't Hit Me Right Now, that was a really interesting track. I like the way they did that track, talking about just don't hit me right now, I'm busy. That was a really cool track. And shout out to Galamashi, it's a great producer. Wells Fargo, to me this is a highlight of the album, and this is the moment we saw in the documentary where like I think it was like Buddy, Earth Gang, who else was it? Guap 4000. They all got up in the studio and just like going crazy. They made this like weird ass song called Wells Fargo that ended up being Wells Fargo. That I think is just so dope. It's such a weird ass song. Like, the song starts off with like this like medieval type aesthetic where like, oh, young sire, like, oh, where's your gun? Like all this type of weird ass medieval shit, but it was so fucking cool. And then they go into like this like hype ass, like turned ass, like rave sounding track that was just so cool. Wells Fargo, like, bro, it's such a good track. Highlight for me. I love this track. It just stood out immediately, and it's so hype and it's so fresh and so original and so creative. So I really like this track, Wells Fargo. Definitely one of the best tracks in the album for me. Sleep Deprived, this was a cool track. Self Love, this is another highlight for me. I really love this, like the R&B take on this track. Ari Lennox did her thing, so did Baby Rose. Really slow down, cool track. Just always talking about self love. Great track. Ladies, this is a really cool track with JID and T.I. I feel like this is the first time JID did a track like this where he's just talking about like, yeah, I know this girl from this place, I met this girl from that place, kind of like on a Jay-Z girls type of vibe, which I really liked and appreciated. I feel like we've not gotten a track like that in a while in hip hop, so it was really fun to hear JID really spit about all the chicks that he knows and the way he likes it with different chicks. It was really cool. And then T.I. came in on a grown man tip talking about, listen, you don't know nothing about these women out here. Let Uncle Tip show you what he knows. So T.I. did his thing at the end of the song too. I really like how they put that song together. That was a really cool creative track. Costa Rica, I didn't like the song when I first heard it, interestingly enough. It's one of the singles off the album right now, but I actually like it now. I really like the vibe on it. It's a really chill vibe. Mad people on this joint, but they all really did a good job just talking about like vibing Costa Rica, vacation, and living the best life, you know, leveling up in life. You know, good track. Next track is 1993. I freaking love this track, one of my favorite tracks off the project. Shout out to Elite. That boy Elite is a good producer, especially as someone who was born in 94. I really appreciate this track. Just talking about, I think Buddy started off, he's like, ever since 1993 I've been smoking weed. And I just, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm here for this track. Like, it's just a really cool track. Shout out to all my 90s babies, and shout out to all the smokers out there. I know y'all love that track. But that was definitely a highlight for me. I just love that track. Rembrandt Running Back was also another highlight for me. Really cool track with J. Cole, Vince, JID on it. Sunset, cool track. Got Me, this is another highlight for me, another single off the album. This is one of the first songs I dropped. I never did a reaction for Got Me and Down Bad, but you know, whatever. Got Me is a great track. I love what Dreezy did on it. Dreezy killed her little 16 at the end. Ty Dolla $ign sounded great on it. Ari Lennox sounded great on it. Omen had a cool little verse. I really like the beat on this one. Shout out to Deputy. And yeah, I just like the vibe on it. Really chilled ass, slow beat. I got you as long as you got me. Love this track. Next up on the track list is Middle Child. We all know Middle Child, love it. If you haven't checked it already, go check out my reaction to Middle Child when I first heard it back in January. And I also did a reaction to the videos as well, so go check out those videos if you haven't already. PTSD is the next track. This was a really cool track. I love how everybody sounds on this track. A really cool track. And then the album ends off with the track Sacrifices. Really cool track by J. Cole, Shmino, and Saba. Where J. Cole, you know, pretty much alludes to the fact that he has another baby on the way, so that was a cool track. And this is a really deep track just talking about sacrifices that, you know, a lot of us can relate to in our own personal lives, excuse me, and that also rappers can relate to for trying to be in the game, you know, sacrifices that they've all been through to get to where they're at now. So it's a really cool, like, deep way to end off the album. So yeah, man, that's just like my quick little, like, you know, breakdown of the tracks. I don't want to go too in depth because there's a lot of tracks and a lot of stuff going on in this album. Okay, but before I go into my general review of the album, I also really want to highlight just a few more tracks again, especially LamboTruck. LamboTruck to me was a really interesting song because I really just love Coz's like honesty on that track, and I loved his like really creative and dope flow on that record, and I also love the beat as well. And I love how like him and like Reason play off of each other, talking about how like they're gonna get at each other's label bosses and they're gonna get at each other's labels, and they go, I'm gonna shoot up your label, you gonna shoot up my label, because they're both just talking about how like they're both annoyed with the labels, like, you know, not being able to get music out, all this other type of stuff. And I just thought it was such a creative song, so that was definitely a highlight for me. Conceptually, I just thought the way they like made that track was just really cool, like on some like, you know, real like true hip hop shit, you know. So I want to mention that. And also again, Wells Fargo, I really wanted to point that out because I just wanted to mention Wells Fargo again because I feel like I would have given anything to have been in the room when that song was created and recorded. Like I would have loved to just soaked up the vibe, but like all these dudes just in the studio going crazy off of this weird ass song, but that just works, you know. So I would have loved to have been there when it was recorded. I just thought that it's such a wild but funny ass song. The interlude was funny as hell. It was just a really well thought out song, really cool and creative, so I want to mention again. But now let me go into my general thoughts about the album. Okay, so I just want to say, I think J. Cole definitely came through and repped as the captain of the ship and as the captain of Dreamville. He definitely came through and did his thing. Every time he was on the album, he came through with a great verse, great energy, great concepts, great thoughts, great flow, great vibes. But I personally feel like, I think JID to me was for sure one of the MVPs of this album. I'm just so proud of JID and his come up. It's still been kind of slow for him commercially, but I'm so excited for his future, and I'm so geeked to see where he goes in the future. I'm so geeked for his potential, because I just think every time he showed up on this album, he showed up and he showed out with just amazing verses, amazing talent, amazing charisma. JID, I think, is just out of this world, and he's one of my favorite members of Dreamville. And like I said, I'm just excited for his future. So I think he definitely was the MVP on this album for me besides J. Cole. And I feel like he definitely got next up when it comes to not only Dreamville but it's in general hip hop. He definitely got next up. I love JID. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Buddy too, because Buddy did his thing. I feel like Buddy to me was definitely one of the he's definitely one of the people that like every time he was on, it just like brought the vibe and like the lightness of the album was brought up a little bit with his voice and his charisma and the way he spits. Like, I love Buddy, so I also want to just give a quick shout out to Buddy too. He definitely killed his parts on this album as well. Alright, y'all, and like I said, I really think this album is just it's a moment for hip-hop. It truly is a moment for hip-hop, and it's a great example of the power of collaboration and the creativity that collaboration spurs, you know? To have all these people on this album working together, putting ego aside, and just trying to come up with the most heat they could and the most fire tracks that they could was just a real testament to, I think, where hip-hop is at right now in terms of people really just kind of, you know, supporting each other, collaboration being at an all-time high, and just like I said, putting ego aside to really make sure we get the best music. And so I really want to tip my hat off to Dreamville and to all the artists they invited, whether or not they were on the album, all the artists that were invited, and all the artists actually ended up making on the album. Shout out to y'all for contributing y'all talent, y'all time, your energy, and I'm just glad that Dreamville use this album to really showcase a lot of people who are underground as fuck, who a lot of people don't know about, including me. There's a lot of people I didn't really know about on this album before I heard it, and it's just great exposure for these type of artists. So I definitely want to salute the moment that I felt like this album really gave us, you know. So I definitely want to salute that. But something else I was also thinking about is I wonder like what this album could have been if way more of the invited guests actually made on the album, and also like if they had just invited way more people. I know this is something they kind of put together like, you know, hastily at the end of last year towards the beginning of this year. So I know like they couldn't get everybody and mom on this album as they should have, because that would have made it a mess. But I know they got T.I., Dreezy, Ty Dolla $ign, you know, but I wonder what it would have been like if they had other artists, like more artists who are outside of Dreamville to be on the album as well. I just wonder like what could have came of like other artists being on the album. You know, I always think about like, you know, so if there were some other people on this album outside of Dreamville, what would they have contributed, what would have sounded like. But I still think this album was fire regardless, so, you know. Alright, y'all, so all in all, I think this album was amazing. It had amazing production throughout, and I love the variety of like the variety of rap vibes and flows on this album. Like I said, you have a million different artists on it, but for some reason, even though there's so many different vibes and concepts and flows on this album, it also feels like one solid unified project. And I really especially love the tracks that really had like more of like the old school like jazzy instrumentation. Like I think that happened mostly towards the end of the album, but I really liked how those tracks really felt. You know, this felt like classic hip hop, you know. But all in all, y'all, this album was like all over the place conceptually, because I said like there's like, you know, different topics, different artists, different flows, different vibes. But even though it had a million people on it, it all was solid. Everything was solid, and it all flowed together beautifully and effortlessly. And I think it's a testament not only to the talent on the project, but it's also a testament to the hunger of all the artists, you know, on the hunger of all the artists on the project, and the hunger that they all had when they were in the studio together back in January, trying to record the project. So it's just, and you know, I also want to give a quick shout out to whoever sequenced it. I'm not sure who sequenced it, but I know it's obviously someone in Dreamville. But shout out to the Dreamville camp, because the sequencing of this album was amazing. I think that's what helped this album feel as good as it was, even though there's like a million different types of flows and vibes and artists on it. It all came together beautifully because of the amazing sequencing. So I definitely want to, you know, tip my hat out to Dreamville for that. It was amazing. Every track on this album is fire, so it's really hard for me to like highlight my favorite tracks, because every track is damn near fire. There's not one track on this album that I didn't like. But I guess if I had to say my favorite tracks, if I had to, I'd probably say Under the Sun, Down Bad, I love that track, LamboTruck, Don't Hit Me Right Now, Wells Fargo, definitely. Self-Love, Ladies was a cool track. Costa Rica's a vibe too. 1993, Rembrandt, Run It Back, and probably Got Me. Those are my favorite tracks, but like I said, every track on this album is fire. So, alright y'all, so for my rating for this album, guys, I feel good giving this album a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think that's my first 4.5 out of 5 stars of the year so far, but I'm definitely cool with that. It's my favorite project. It's definitely my favorite rap project of the year so far, and to me, definitely one of the best put together projects of the year, and probably one of the only albums this year where there's not one track that I didn't like. So this album is fire, damn near perfect, so I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. But let me know what y'all will give it down below. Alright y'all, so those are my thoughts on the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 album. I gave y'all my thoughts on the album, I gave y'all my favorite tracks, I gave you my rating. But now let me know what y'all thought about the album. Let me know what your favorite tracks, your least favorite tracks if you had any. Let me know what you thought about just the concept of the album and how it all came together, and how it's all like how it was all put together, how it was recorded, how everything came together. Let me know what you thought about the whole process and all that. But yeah, man, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the review. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do all that and more, okay? appreciate y'all. And like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke. But if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, alright? Make you feel better. Go listen to your favorite song. Alright, y'all, but I'm about to be out. Thank you for watching, guys. This has been your boy Bright. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just have fun.